going on? Captain Paul from the Talkin podcast. A lot of going on crazy in the world, so let's just get right into the topic. Kyle Beach, former 11th overall former 11th overall draft pick by the Chicago Blackhawks, is apparently the John Doe in the Chicago Blackhawks investigation regarding the sexual assault of a player. Now, I'm just going to get you my feelings off this. I think this was disgusting behavior. I think Aldridge, due to the actions of the Blackhawks and the inaction, I should say, they let a 16-year-old become abused and get molested by this man that was a coach on their staff, because they, even though they knew what happened with Beach and Aldridge, they still apparently gave him a letter of recommendation for a high school, and then he goes and molests a high schooler, spends 9 months in jail, and he's on the registry of sex offenders now. I have to ask is, I've seen some comments of people with, regarding Kyle Beach and kind of dehumanizing him. It's not the time, not the place for that. Oh, he's a man, he's this, he's this. Listen, no man should ever let themselves be taken advantage of. But I think what we're getting twisted in this dynamic is this is a 20-year-old kid essentially being forced and coerced by a person in a power position, right? And essentially telling him if he doesn't do this, that he's going to ruin his life and make sure he never sniffs the NHL again. Now, it's disgusting behavior. And as someone who actually has coached high school kids, this shit really pisses me the fuck off. I think it's just disgusting. That guy should be put, underneath the prison. I don't know how you only get fucking 9 months. I don't understand that. 9 months? 9 months where you, traumatize some kid for the rest of their fucking life? Disgusts me. And, the interview with Kyle Beach that he had with the reporter Westhead, I apologize, I'm just doing this off the top of my head. And he's actually been very good with this whole investigation. He's been people are saying, oh, he's just doing this for clout, or trying to be controversial and stuff like this for years, trying to report on this subject. And it finally has come to a head. They had a proper investigation, and they found out all the wrongdoings that this organization has done. So Stan Bowman's out. Quinville was let go. Well, he resigned, but he essentially kind of fired from Florida because they didn't want to have that around. Kevin Shelvadeoff for Winnipeg, though, he apparently escapes. Apparently there wasn't enough information for him to lose his job in Winnipeg. But there's been a reckoning. All that staff that's been there from 2010 or the 2011 Cup run, they're gone. They're no longer there. And I don't know. As a hockey coach, as someone that's worked with high school kids and younger, and instructional hockey with 6 and 8-year-olds, and to abuse someone is it's beyond disgusting, and it sickens me to a degree. I'm trying to keep this PC because this isn't about me, right? This is about a greater conversation about how we need to really do better as a society and not take advantage of these kids. There is one thing, like I said, I kind of touched upon a little bit, but some people say, oh, Kyle Beach is a grown man, lets himself get this, he's just insulting the shit out of him, and I don't agree with that. This man's career was ruined because of this action, because he felt, he's 20 years old. Can we just put that in perspective? 20 years old. And he's essentially saying the rest of his life's going to be ruined, and because of this instance and because of the degrading by his teammates, right? He goes to alcohol, drugs. He admits it in the interview. It just ruined him. How can you mentally come back from that? It takes I couldn't even fathom, right? Because people are like, oh, he's a bust. He didn't pan out. He doesn't have the drive. It's no. The dude was fucked up mentally. So of course, his hockey game is going to be all over the place because he's not right. Because he was betrayed by an organization that drafted him. An organization that drafted him, right, made him feel lesser than dirt, like he wasn't even a human, that his feelings didn't matter. So do you think that mental space is good for anyone involved? Do you think anyone goes and like wins in that situation? 99 out of 100 times, someone is gonna just not be able to deal with it. Maybe there's that one rare person that perseveres. And I'm not trying to say persevere like, you know, hockey's the most important thing in life, but I don't know. Up this video saying this. No one in their right fucking mind could tell me Kyle Beach was going to be able to perform under the situations he was put under. Chicago Blackhawk staff, coaching staff, executives, everyone knowledgeable in that situation, you're massive pieces of shit. You know, I don't care. I'll just say this, right? So as for the Blackhawks players, and you know, you finally had some, you know, Nick Boynton, you had Sopel. There's another one that like came out and said yes, like everyone knew what was going on. For Jonathan Taves, especially with the comments that he said, you know, trying to, you know, say, oh well, Bowman treated me very, like, go fuck yourself. Really, Taves? He treated you like you're taking that stance now? Are you? How are you? Like, how are you a fucking human being? I just don't understand that. He treated me well, yeah, but he let some dude fucking essentially his life get ruined because it made him feel less than dirt because he didn't take any action. So spare me that bullshit. You know, I think a lot of those people, a lot of those players in that locker room really should be looking themselves in the mirror if they haven't already, you know, and saying they failed a teammate, they failed a young kid. And yeah, John, people say, oh, he's 22, he's 20. Listen, Patrick Kane has his own character issues with his sexual assaults and stuff like that, so I'm not really surprised about him lying about not knowing. But you know, hey, I just think the Chicago Blackhawks organization as a whole is just a pretty dim place to be. I think there are a lot of those people in that locker room that are lying through their teeth regarding this whole incident are just human garbage, and I'm just gonna stick by it. You know, that's what I honestly feel. You know, when you have players contradicting, like the captain, Jonathan Taves, say, oh, I didn't know this, and I only knew it then. I'm like, no, like you had like Nick Boynton and you had Sopel saying, like, no, everybody on the team knew. And I've played in a hockey locker room. I've been involved in that atmosphere, man. Like, that's generally a tight-knit group. You get along with everyone every bit of the day? No, but he definitely fucking knew. I'm sorry. It would make no sense if he didn't. So, Kyle Beach, hopefully that you get the help you need. Hopefully you get the healing you need, you know. And Aldridge, you're a human piece of shit. Chicago Blackhawks, you're a terrible organization from the top down, in my opinion. You know, you're putting a Band-Aid on it now because you got fucking caught. And that's, you know, that's just how it is. So this is Captain Paul for the Talkin' Shop podcast. Catch you next one.